So it's a big weekend for the DC Universe with The Flash finally opening in theaters after much controversy. Our film critic Rad is here with his thoughts on that and what else is out this weekend in case you're not in the mood for more superheroes. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk The Flash, or Flash. After a long wait, it's finally here.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this?
Well, you know, when you say long wait, because it's finally here after this controversy surrounding Ezra Miller, the star of the movie, who's had, you know, exhibited a lot of troubling behavior over the years. There's been allegations of assault, and I think the most troubling is probably allegations of child grooming over the years. So to the point where a lot of people are like, do we really want to see this movie? Like, can we, like, you know, there's been a lot of like canning certain DC movies, and they were like, should we get rid of The Flash? But lo and behold, they stuck with it. It's here. And I don't know, and now people get to make the choice of whether they want to see Ezra Miller as The Flash.
And what did you think of the film?
The movie, look, okay, so this is a movie, like, the reason why everyone's looking forward to this movie is not because of Ezra Miller's The Flash. They're looking forward to it because of Michael Keaton's Batman. Okay, like the 1989 Batman, like he returns in this. You know, he says he's quipping some of his old lines, like, "Hey, I'm Batman," or like, "Let's get nuts," like all that stuff. And that's what what people are squealing about. And the way they get to that though is really, really labored, because the story is about Ezra Miller's Flash, you know, running so fast he turns back time and opens up the same multiverse that Marvel's been cashing in on. That's what they're getting in on here, and so that opens the door to let's bring in some of our old favorite Batmans and Supermans and all that stuff. The thing is, that is such low-hanging fruit that I know audiences love. It's like, let's just plug your favorite IP, and you squeal when I plug them in, right? And you know, I wasn't a huge fan of No Way Home for that very reason. This movie makes No Way Home look like a masterpiece. Because like this is such a hideous looking, like the CGI is awful, the action's dull. Ezra Miller's performance, they have some funny, some emotional moments, some sporadically, but you know, this movie does nothing in terms of, like, it's not like bringing these characters in to add to the story, to add to the emotional story. It is just IP plugging. It is so cynical. I'm not a fan of it, but the people who squeal, you know, they will squeal because this movie knows how to push their buttons.
So who are those people? What kind of movies do they like?
I mean, like, they like No Way Home. No Way Home, once again, being better than this, but also think of like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You know, there's a scene there where they somehow get Professor X into it. Right. If you fell in love with that movie because they brought Professor X into the mix, then you will love this movie.
I'm so conflicted because I really like both those movies, but I don't know that I'm gonna like
you'll be fine.
I don't know. I'll have to give it a try. The other film we're talking about, The Blackening. What's this about?
Okay, so The Blackening it's such a funny. It's a horror comedy about a bunch of Howard University students gathering for a college reunion at a cottage. Their first mistake, going to a cottage, and then they end up in a horror movie, right? A really racist entity is trying to pick them off one by one. And you know, the creator of this movie, the writer Dwayne Perkins, his whole premise here was, you know, that horror movie trope where the black person always dies first. He's like, well, what if everyone's black? What you gonna do now, right? Like, and so they create a whole game out of that. And what you get is this really funny, really silly comedy that is kind of like that you know, it knows how to push our buttons, but also knows how to engage in this kind of all the post-Trump conversations we are having about what is a safe space for black people, because you know it's not the cottage, and you know it's not a horror movie.
That's amazing. This one sounds really fun.
It is.
Who is this for?
I mean, look, think of this as the spawn of Scary Movie and Cabin in the Woods. So if you love either of those, you're gonna love this.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Okay, lastly, Pixar's latest, Elemental.
Yeah, Elemental. So, you know, interesting about this is basically a rom-com in Pixar form, I guess you could call it, right? It's a movie that kind of translates an interracial relationship into this kind of animation where it's not about black and white people, let's say, but it's about fire and water. Fire and water don't mix. And look, as a rom-com, I don't think the relationship here is all that thought out. I think it's basically following this basic genre tropes, but I do think this movie was very, you know, it was adorable how they kind of translated social inequities in this animation in a world made of elements and stuff. So I was really fascinated by that. And also visually, when you translate how the chemistry with fire water visually, I thought that was really beautiful. So fun time with the family.
And who's this one for?
I mean, look, if you like the movies like Onward and Luca, not the best of Pixar, let's say, but you know, enjoyable, lovely. If you like those, you love this. Would be like, you know, a great time with the family.
Well, according to your analysis, I would love all these movies.
There you go.
So there you go. Thanks, Rad.
That's a range of love there.
I know, it is, but lots to watch. Rad, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.